Welcome back to Vampyr here on Serious Gaming. I need to retrieve that necklace wherever it is. I have no idea where it could be. No inclination. Could be anywhere really. But let's check down here.
This is a slaughterhouse. It's locked, all right.
Yeah. There we go.
From Seymour to my beloved mother, Stella. Fishburne, that sneaky bastard.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see what he has to say for himself. So.
Good evening, Mr. Fishburne.
Yeah.
I have retrieved the gift for your mother, sir.
Great. Give it here then and take this for your trouble.
I also found the corpses. The ones under which you left the necklace, Mr. Fishburne.
Ah, so that's where I left it. I can be a bit stupid sometimes.
As a man of science, I'd like to try to understand why you killed those people.
Why does there need to be a reason? They were just there. It happened. That's all.
You're not a mindless animal, Seymour. Surely you have something to say about these murders. Speak up and I will listen without judgment.
Could be right, Dr. Reid. Maybe it'll do some good to confide in a gentleman like you. You being educated and all.
Did you take pleasure in killing them, Seymour? All those people, all those lives extinguished.
I take no pleasure from it. Just gives me peace. Stills the anger. For a time.
Don't you think you should seek help? Talk to someone you trust, someone who cares about you.
No. And don't dare speak about me to your colleagues either. Keep your mouth shut tight. Especially about my mum.
This rage you feel, have you ever been able to control it? Resist it?
I tried. For my mum, I tried for her. Telling the truth made me feel better. For a while.
Tell me about your victims, Seymour. Who were they? Why them? Was there a link?
Why should there be? They just kept getting on my nerves at the worst times, that's all.
How many? How many victims?
It's not like I keep records. It happens when it happens.
You feel nothing, do you? No empathy for your victims at all?
You seem pretty calm yourself, don't you?
We're not talking about me.
That right? Well, our calm's the only thing we have in common then.
Why is your mother protecting you, Seymour?
I'm her son. She's the only one who knows me. Sometimes I think she knows me better than I know myself.
I understand you love her, but can't you see the awful situation you've put her in?
Do you think my mum would have a better life if I were dead? She seems so sad to know me sometimes.
I don't believe death is the appropriate sentence for murder. Not in a civilized society. But the last word has to remain with the law.
There is no law around here. No justice to be found. In these parts, revenge is the only answer.
Alright, so I failed with one of the hints. Whatever. I did get most... Oh. Alright. Well, I just need to find her somewhere. In, of course. Could I? Yeah, I could actually.
Goodbye.
Now let's see about finding his mother. No, that's the bridge. Alright then. Now that part is sanitized. So, with this in mind, oh, what a lovely part of town. Communists, gangers. Ah, there we go.
Good evening, madam. I'm Dr. Reid. Could I come in?
Why? What do you want?
I work at the Pembroke Hospital. I'm investigating the flu epidemic in this area.
Oh, the Spanish flu. Well, that's quite liberal of you, Doctor. But this is no time to be knocking at people's doors.
The disease takes away the good people too, madam. Why not let me in?
It's Mrs. Fishburne. Stella Fishburne. And yes, indeed. Why not let a doctor in?
Yeah, I need to talk with her. She seems in good health.
It's locked.
She is a level 2. Okay. I will need to go back to Whitechapel after this.
So you have questions about the flu then?
Yes, among other things.
Forgive my rudeness at the door. It's just my son doesn't like strangers coming in the house.
Tell me about these demons Seymour needs your help to fight.
Seymour used to be such a happy child. And he is still a helping son most of the time. But when he gets angry, he can hardly contain his rage.
All men and women are born innocent, Mrs. Fishburne. But there can be a monster within any of us.
Do you think he can be cured, Doctor? Do you think something can extinguish this rage inside my Seymour?
Science has only just begun to investigate the mysteries of the human mind. Currently, we have more assumptions than fact.
There ain't no hope then. Somehow, somewhere, my son has turned into a monster, and nothing will bring him back.
Stella, I know you are ashamed of your son's crimes. So why do you protect Seymour?
I can't report my own son, can I? Not a burden I could bear.
Burden? How do you mean?
They'd hang him for sure. I won't send my only son to his death.
I'm convinced you raised Seymour the best you could. You're not responsible for what he became.
If someone ever found the courage to speak to the police, I will take my share.
Your son's gone way beyond simply bullying people. He has a taste for blood, and you know it, don't you, Stella?
One night, he told me straight up, in his own words. It was several days after one of his episodes.
Did Seymour tell you everything that night?
More than I could stand. The words he used to describe his hate, his rage, how he feels when he's done it.
Why did he confess? Did you suspect something?
No. I guess he wanted his old mum to help him fight his, demons.
The orphan that regards you as a mother. Please tell me about him, Stella.
You mean Rufus? I wish I could do even more for the poor boy. Most people are so selfish.
But you're not.
Years may have passed, but I haven't forgotten how it feels to go through days with nothing but an empty stomach.
May I ask what you do for a living, Mrs. Fishburne?
Since my husband died, I worked at the Dawson Rope factory, but it closed before the war. I occasionally help at the night asylum, in exchange for food.
Did your husband die in the war?
Oh no, my Jack was a docker. He died when my Seymour was just a lad. The poor boy saw his dad slip and fall from that scaffolding.
How do you pay the rent, then?
My Seymour works at the docks, just like his dad. He's very attached to the house he grew up in. It's not always easy, but we get by all right.
How is life around here?
Life has always been hard in the East End. But it's everywhere nowadays, isn't it?
Do you think the increase in violence has anything to do with the epidemic?
Don't know, but it's most likely linked to the gangs if you ask me. Recently, it's like everyone has had to pick a side.
Violence has always fed on poverty, don't you think? It's a cruel law of the human condition.
And selfishness is their rotten fruit. These days, you can just die in the gutter and no one will bat an eye.
Goodbye.
Okay. Well, let's see about Rufus.
Evening, Ruth.
Evening, Miss.
So long.
Okay. There's still someone that I'm missing over here, but that can wait.
Foolish girl won't have pre-principles. She's got no idea who she is.
You. Goodbye.
Digby. Okay then. I wonder how I could get more clues about him. Well, I've done certainly a good amount to stabilize this part of town. Cured people, done quests for people, all that kind of stuff. Alright, find someone who can read Braille. I can go there. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. Or any issue, really. Need to go to Whitechapel. To this day, I regret killing Nurse Crane. I can tell you that for a fact. Can't... Well, maybe I should indeed pass by. Wait, what do we have here? Yeah, just some shillings. Alright. Let's see. So, there's dialogue options. Lady Ashbury.
Die!
Please, bitch.
There's one of them vermin! Die, vermin!
That all you got? Gonna take a lot more than that.
There's one of them!
Take him down.
It's a leech! Get it! Shit, that leech is fast!
There we go. Okay. Back into the hospital then. It's safe around here at least. Well, suppose as safe as it can be, considering the circumstances. It's sanitized at the very least. So the situation, I don't think it can get worse. Let's see what the doctor has to say.
Jonathan, at last. I've been worried sick. Have you solved the case of our poor Sean Hampton?
Don't worry, Edgar. The reputation of Pembroke Hospital is secure. Sean Hampton was not the guilty party.
Is that true? Oh, good news. Good news indeed.
I found Harriet Jones. She's much the same old, embittered woman she was, only she's been made a Skal. Her transformation did not go well.
Incredible. Why not bring her here? We could learn so much by studying her condition. It would be fascinating.
I doubt that. She can barely move. Perhaps we could learn more about the degeneration of Skals.
Perhaps. But she could also belong to a new species. We know so little of the laws that dictate vampire reproduction.
Were there any studies made by your order on the subject?
Not that I'm aware of. I will transmit your discovery to the Brotherhood's primate. He will be delighted.
What do you know of the Ascalon Club?
Not as much as I would like. There have always been rumors about a secret society of vampires operating in the interests of the British Empire, though I've never met a member.
I crossed paths with one, a terrifying creature going by the name of Fergal. He was sent by the Ascalon Club to exterminate the Skals of the East End.
By the stole, Jonathan. If vampires are eliminating their own progeny, then dark times are upon us. Darker than I've ever witnessed.
Do you think Lady Ashbury would know of them?
Jonathan, our beloved lady is not one for social dalliances, nor the assemblies of dark orders. She's a woman of superior taste and selective acquaintance.
Does the name Old Bridget ring any bells?
I'd never heard of her. Why? A patient of ours? I must confess, I don't know them all.
No, it's just someone I recently met. A fascinating woman. I had thought that perhaps...
By the stole, Jonathan, you've met another vampire. I would appreciate an introduction, if that's the case.
So the hints on him are locked for some reason. I've unlocked most of the hints.
A pleasure as always.
Alright, so I've talked with him all I could. Let's go with Lady Ashbury. Compared to the other miserable parts of town, this place looks good, at least in the inside. Outside, it's a whole other business.
Good evening, Mil.
Good evening.
I'd like...
Wise choice.
Kinda need parts. How much is... Yeah, it's just one. That's shotgun though.
It is good to see you again, Jonathan. How are you?
I'm better than one might expect, Lady Ashbury. Dr. Swansea has asked me to investigate the recent disturbances in the hospital caused by Skals.
Really? What do you mean?
I discovered the most intriguing Skal. An elderly woman answering to the name of Old Bridget, and a man who helps them remain hidden in London.
Old Bridget? peculiar name. I've never heard of her.
Skulls of London have gone into hiding. Both mortals and immortals plot their extermination.
Yes. Skulls are the orphans of the Vampire Society. They are the shame of their genitors. A disgrace to the vampire that created them.
According to old Bridget, Skulls can lead a peaceful existence like us. They are even able to nourish themselves by feeding on corpses and the flesh of the dead.
How vile. Please, Jonathan, let's change the subject.
There is something ominous closing around me, Lady Ashbury. Something spies upon me from the shadows. Something cruel and wicked.
Whatever do you mean, Jonathan?
If Sean Hampton and Harriet were not the guilty parties, then who? I saw the bodies and the blood.
Your rebirth has not gone unnoticed, Jonathan. Be extremely careful. If you get in the way of an immortal's plans...
Do you suspect someone?
I don't know, Jonathan. I steer clear of vampire politics, especially whilst hunters roam the city's streets.
Goodbye.
Well, she was certainly very useful in all that she gave me. Not. Either way, Whitechapel is next. Need to get to that bridge. You know, people have said, oh, this is a Dark Souls-like feeling. No, it's Bloodborne. Game I've never played, but I've seen enough videos of that to understand the similarities. Either way, there is a business I need to attend to. That business requires me to go to follow the main road. Trying to avoid these fools. They're a waste of time. Please.
Get them weapons ready! We found one! Ah!
No, you found fuck all.
Fear no evil! We do the Lord's work here!
Oh, totally. Nothing like fanatics invoking God in a video game. Though, to be fair, they might be onto something. Vampires are an abomination at the end of the day. Ah, shit.
Stupid beast! It ain't human! Kill it! It's a leech! Shit, that leech is fast! Shit! You'll pay for that!
And snap. Alright, almost there. Since I do have a level 3 mesmerize, I should be able to enter, force him to open the door, and enter. Open up!
Good evening, sir. It's me again.
Leave me alone,
It cannot be safe for a blind man to live here alone. Let me enter, sir. I swear I mean you no harm.
Well, a voice never lies, and yours clearly is the voice of a gentleman. All right, Doctor, come on in. Wandering in this part of town at night, you're either brave or a fool. So what is the name of my nocturnal visitor?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. As I already explained to you, I'm inquiring about the epidemic.
Dr. Reid? The eminent surgeon? My God, I'd never have expected a brilliant physician like you to knock on my door.
You flatter me, sir.
No, sir, I am flattered. I read all your work when I still had my sight. I loved it. I'm Mason Swanborough, by the way.
You seem unwell, sir. Do you need my assistance?
Actually, I feel worse than usual. Can you give me something?
Yes. I can give you a little something that has been proven effective.
Thank you, Doctor.
And what else have you learned about me, Mr. Swanborough?
I know you assisted Professor Carell in France, and that you invented a new blood transfusion method based on his work.
Yes. Those were frustrating but exciting days. I loved it.
Yes, the thrill of research and discovery. This is what drives people like us, Dr. Reid. Oh, how I envy you.
Does someone take care of you in this isolated place?
My sister Loretta and I have our daily routine. Every morning and evening she comes by so we can talk and eat. Then she leaves and I stay.
Do you not appreciate your sister's visits?
Loretta is the best and worst thing that happened to me, and I believe she could say the same thing about me.
Where does your sister go?
Well, let's just say, she earns enough money for us both.
What's so amusing about that?
I won't hide the truth from you. Loretta sells a fake miracle elixir to the sick people of Whitechapel.
Do you know Braille, Mr. Swanborough?
I'm no expert, but I learned it in my spare time, yes. Why?
I found a strange document entitled Cure for Blindness. It's written in Braille, so I thought perhaps it was yours.
Really? Is that some kind of sick joke? Let me see.
Here it is.
This letter seems authentic. And it actually refers to an experimental cure for blindness. You have piqued my interest, Dr. Reid.
Could it be of any use to you?
No. This page is just a part of a larger diary. I'd be glad if you could find the other pages.
Goodbye,
What kind of gentleman pays visits to people at this late hour?
Okay.
What can I...
Goodbye, Mr.
What kind of gentleman pays visits to people at this late hour?
It's locked, all right.
Alright, shillings.
Wondering... What...
Goodbye.
Alright. Can I cure him of his blindness? Seriously? Are you kidding me? Well, I probably need to find some more secrets then. Alright, let's talk with his sister then. I heard someone coughing, but I don't see anyone. Whatever. That's just some glass vials.
It's locked.
Wonder how could I reach that? Well, the guard has its rogues. Let's find Loretta.
You look so pale, my lord. Would you like me to revive you?
Come on, we can sort it out, right? It's not my call, Barrett. You pay one way or another. Please, Joe. How long have we known each other? Well, we even used to be neighbours, for Christ's sake. I prefer not to give you another beating, Barrett. Fancy buying?
You never... Right then.
Well, I don't know where I can find these parts. Wait, what's this? Yeah, some shillings in that car. Well, truck. That leads... yes. She's that merchant over there, isn't she? No, wait, that's... there we go.
Good evening, my dear colleague.
Loretta, your miraculous formula wouldn't even cure a common cold, and you know it.
The Swanborough's cordial secret ingredient is hope, Doctor. And it's something people around here really need.
A placebo effect is real and has benefit. But in your case, you could be murdering your customers who may die because they are not receiving the necessary medical attention.
Medical attention? In Whitechapel? Trust me, my cordial is the best option they have, since it is the only one.
If your true purpose was to help, you wouldn't take money from the poor for your snake oil.
Oh, but to pay for it is part of the process, Doctor. If it were free, they wouldn't believe in it.
You look ill, Miss Swanborough. I wonder if your concoction will do the trick.
I have no doubt it will. But I'm not against a second opinion, Dr. Reid.
Well, there you have it. Take this remedy, but be discreet. It may damage your business otherwise.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
All right. Okay. I need to go there. And there's still an NPC that I am missing. But I can wait. Might help stabilize this place though.
Locked, all right.
Okay, since that will not work, clearly, what choices do I have? No good ones, I'm afraid. The long way it is then. Not the direct path, sadly enough.
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems.
Well, let me talk with him, with her.
Good evening, Xiao Shu.
晚上好, Dr. Reid. It's good to see you again.
What are you doing with your time now that you're back in Whitechapel?
I've decided to help the poor and sick of the neighborhood by handing out medicine.
That's very charitable of you. But why do it at night?
I've noticed that the most desperate people tend to go out after dark. Hence my presence, to help them when I can.
Giving out medicine? How can you afford to do that?
I am a rich widow, Dr. Reid. My departed husband left me enough money to last the rest of my life. I can spend some on those who don't have any.
Why don't you move to a better neighborhood?
I thought about it, I confess. To go back to the same empty home every day still hurts me a lot.
Why stay here then?
I am a woman of habit, Dr. Reid. And for now, I am happier being useful in a familiar place than I would be anywhere else.
How do you feel now that you're back in Whitechapel?
I've decided to follow your advice, sir. I won't forget the dead, but my efforts will be for the living.
I've no doubt. That is a wise and useful attitude in this part of town.
To be completely honest with you, I'm also doing this for myself. If I'm destined to survive this epidemic, I need my life to have some purpose.
Do you still think about your departed husband?
Of course I do. I'll never forget my beloved Matthew, but how do I put it? Now I miss him more than I want him back.
I know what you mean. And I think it means you're getting better.
Maybe death will take me the way it took Matthew. Without warning and without mercy. But until then, I live on.
Goodbye.
Alright. Well, I certainly helped her. Alright, let's get to that flat. Trying to find the last person in this area. Alright, recovering. I need those parts. With some of these guys I have a lot of hits, with some of them not so much. Stay down. Whoa. The vampires don't give up as easily. Okay. Can't go in there. Can't completely stop the violence on the streets. The guard fighting skulls, skulls fighting back. Oh, don't worry, I'll stay back, but not because you frightened me in any capacity. It's because I need to actually go in a different direction. No, that's not quite there. Okay, down there, I guess. Yep. That door. Gate. Assuming it can be unlocked.
It's locked.
You're kidding me. Where from, then? Seriously, do I need to... Fine. The long way it is. Wait. Am I now facing? Yes, I am. So just straight ahead. I'll need to cross from another bridge.
Die, vanning demon! Back! Remember your vows, friends! Look lively! It's on to us! This one!
Right, another one bites the dust. I wonder if I can open them.
I cannot enter.
Nope, cannot. What do we have here?
Where does this blood trail lead?
That is a good question. Inside? But I can't enter. At least.
29 Pretty Orchard Street. This is it. What's in there for me?
I guess
there's been a fight here.
Guess we'll figure it out. So what? I think the game is set in 1918, isn't it? But I don't think I've seen a date in this entire game. So...
It's locked, all right.
Do I need to go back for the apartment building, maybe? So, I guess it might have started here. Wait.
This window was shattered with violent force. Someone's been pulled through it and dragged through the street. Who could have done that?
Just pursue the blood, I suppose.
Did you hear me? Crush the leech, Bob! They're lively! It's on to us! Fuck, it's fast!
Well, beyond them doing a lot of damage to me, that doesn't really change all that much. Wait, what do we have here?
So much blood.
Whoever was killed got dried out.
I don't know.
Across all these streets to let her expire and be found here.
You're surprising. Occasionally, you make a good point.
How's that?
We're being misled. Or worse, we're being baited by leeches playing a nasty game.
An inhuman! Kill it! We will... Mine! I'll take it! Oh my God!
Don't worry, you were next.
The marks on this woman's neck were made by the fangs of a vampire. This is the very flower my mother tossed on Mary's coffin. Someone is targeting my family. Only a golden watch in her pockets. Her shoes and clothes are quite worn out.
I see you.
Who the...
Right then. It's a sick game. But given no choice in the matter, I might as well win it.
Yeah, so be it then. We might have a boss fight soon enough though. Another vampire? Probably. I'm not sure I'm ready to take out the entire Ascalon club if they really are targeting me. There is, however, an army of skulls, though.
Jonathan.
What was that?
Your attempts at horror are pathetic, by the way. Done.
I won't let you escape. You're very fast, but I'll catch you.
Faster than you, at least. Hold on. Is she leading me back into the cemetery? Seems like it.
They've all been butchered.
Well, we are dealing with an immortal vampire, aren't we? Probably. Trails of
I
blood.
can still sense a presence.
Yeah, no shit, you can. Wait.
have you done?
Vicar Larrabee, what happened?
Demon! Hell Scourge! Son of perdition!
Vicar! Jonathan's no demon. He's just a soul. Returned from the dead. Like your Christ, Vicar.
Mary, is it really you?
Oh, it's me, all right. Precious brother.
What is Mother doing here?
I'm gathering the family for a final reunion. All smiling, all dead. Thanks to the good Dr. Reid.
Mary.
Mother, say hello to your son.
Hello, Jonathan.
Mother,
What do we have here, Mother? The prodigal son has lost his tongue. Our Jonathan always had the first and last word at dinner. The entertainer, the star of our show.
I'm sorry. Let me explain.
Shut up. It's my turn to do the talking. I have this nasty hole in my chest, Johnny. It needs to breathe.
Of course. You can speak.
My prayers went so long without an answer. My husband, killed in France. My child, carried away by the flu. My brother promising to return in his letters, then disappearing in thin air. I went from hospital to hospital. Cemetery to cemetery. Grave to grave. I've lifted every stone in London, searching for an end to the nightmare. And there you were. In front of me. On a dark pier.
The hunger had taken me.
The joy to have finally found you. I longed for your arms, a final happy ending to so much tragedy, to tell me all would be well again, as you did when we were children. It was this filthy dock where you greeted your sister. I dug a tunnel from my grave with my fingers and teeth.
Mary, I thought I had murdered you. I tried to end myself. We've been through the same horror.
We are a disease, Jonathan. A sickness that corrupts all it touches. All we kiss, and all we kill. Look at me. Admire your ilk.
I'm so sorry.
Apologies will not suffice. I demand reparation. I want a miracle. Are you a miracle worker, Dr. Reid? No? I'll show you mine then. The family Reid, reunited and complete, living forever in a red sea of eternal love. Time to go, Mother. Say hello to my son for
Mary,
me.
wait. I have made friends with vital knowledge. Vampires. We are not alone, Mary. With time, we can learn to live almost as we lived before.
How long?
What?
How long will this masquerade continue? I've been watching you. All these nights in Whitechapel, pretending you're still a doctor. You believe you're just fighting a disease. But it's you, the disease. Jonathan, you!
I'm a scientist. I'll find a solution. Let our mother go, please.
You're always the one to sway me to reason, Jonathan. But before, your motivations were always pure. Now you're tainted.
Let her go! She has no part to play in this.
Very well. Have you heard our good doctor? You can go home, Mother. Go home and rest in peace.
Yes, I'll go home and rest.
It's so easy to make them obey or forget. Puppets for our pleasure. I've seen you have your fun.
You are mad.
Oh, so that's what I am, Doctor. Mad. I was beginning to wonder. I've been hearing these voices in my head. One in particular, that of my dead brother. This is the reason I must kill you. Not for your betrayal, not for our poisonous kiss, not even for the lies you tell yourself. No, it's so that smooth and wicked voice will stop ringing in my ear.
Mary. No, don't!
Time to die, brother. And this time for good.
Are we?
To rot in this grave.
I don't want to do this.
Abominate. You've burned away Nurse Crane's mind. What have you done? Give me your blood, priest. Final thoughts are just to die for.
Well, that was unfortunate.
You've killed me, brother. Come to me, Jonathan. You've burned away Nurse Crane's mind. You're a monster! Rest in peace, monster. Give me your blood, priest. Their final thoughts are just to die for.
I'll go through all of this again and I'll keep my ultimate to try and stop her from killing the priest. Maybe that would work.
What have you done?
Maybe that would certainly work. Don't want her to kill the priest if that can be avoided. That's the thing holding me back. I'm trying to prevent her from killing the priest. Don't know if it's possible. Don't know if using the ultimate will actually stun her. But we'll figure it out. Nice twist, though.
Please help me!
You've killed me, brother! Kinslayer! What have you done?
Well, this is gonna be a lot more difficult than I thought it would. I also didn't quite expect that. I mean, I knew I would be facing a vampire. You know, have some confrontation with a vampire. Some description. I didn't quite expect someone on her level. Also, Jonathan's sister.
Help me, please!
Assassin! Kinslayer! What happened? You left me! Rest in peace, monster. You've burned away Nurse Crane's mind. You're a monster! Give me your blood, priest. Their final thoughts are just to die for. Kiss me again, sweet brother. Abomination! You've killed me, brother! Come to me, Jonathan. Abomination! I'll make you kneel like a dog, just as you did to Sean Hampton! Kiss me again, sweet brother. Well, brother, it's time to bring this conversation to an end. Forever.
You know I will not play this game.
Calm now, Doctor. Like a rabid dog. Or think you're performing an autopsy.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'll kill them all. The kind Dr. Swansea. The sweet little lass with hair of red. I am the Harbinger, bringing your punishment.
Mary.
Don't you see? This is not me. Flesh that never ages. All nightmare, no dream. Bring it to a close. Let me sleep.
will find a cure, Mary. I swear it.
Then, at last, I can forgive you.
Okay, having control in this section is, well... I did try and help the priest, it didn't work out so well, did it?
Blood. As I shed one last red tear for my fallen sister, I realize the entire world now revolves around this singular word. The epidemic that has stricken London is not the Spanish flu. It is transmitted through the blood, via violent biting, turning survivors into frenzied immortals. I am Dr. Jonathan Reid. I am a vampire, born anew into an age of death and pestilence. While plotting factions close in around me, I am sworn to find the source of this epidemic. I am convinced greater perils are still to come. I know the answers I seek are hiding in our blood.
Well, she needs a treatment for a cold. That's something I can certainly deliver. Hold on. Okay. Well, let's see about Dr. Swansea. The situation in docks is stabilized somewhat, at least. And that's good. It certainly helped. Unfortunately, it's still serious. It's probably not going to recover. I actually need to rest, really, because I need to level up, get more biting ability. It seems to me the best way of playing the game is to focus on biting people, doing as much damage. Where's oh, there we go.
Jonathan, old chap, how are you tonight? I've seen little of you of late.
I was conducting research in my room, away from the nightly routines.
Of course, of course. Worry not, I understand. The situation has been testy around here. I won't deny it, but we still stand.
Have you any reliable friends in the West End who might assist me?
Unfortunately, you will be alone. Except for our ravishing red-headed acquaintance, of course.
What about the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole? Where are they?
There are only a few of us, and most others would not speak to you. I am the black sheep of our brotherly flock, you know.
What of my commission here at Pembroke Hospital?
Nothing to fear, Jonathan. Your position here is in no jeopardy. You remain one of us, and you are always most welcome.
What news do you bring?
The news is not good, my friend. We try to keep the epidemic at bay, but street violence is escalating quickly.
How bad is the epidemic?
It is killing the infected patients faster. In less than 2 days now. The only blessing is that they are contagious for a shorter period.
Tell me more about the violence.
Geoffrey McCallum seems to have sent his war dogs on a hunt. On a nightly basis, Prewen patrols exterminate every skull and vampire they find.
Have they come closer to the hospital?
No. They mainly focus on fallen districts or abandoned buildings. But they're growing in numbers. They must be recruiting heavily.
I have received an alarming letter from Lady Ashbury. She wants me to meet her at her house. I have been granted safe passage.
Then you are twice fortunate. I have never been invited to the lady's mansion. And with the quarantine and controls, city access is nigh impossible.
Is the quarantine serving any purpose?
It is helping slow the propagation of the epidemic. But as long as we have no clue to its origin, its efficiency is limited.
Why have you never entered the lady's house? You are one of her good friends, are you not?
My dear Jonathan, you have no idea how reclusive the good lady normally is, nor in what great esteem she must hold you to let you into her domain.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, maybe I can talk with other people, get more information, though I doubt, I very much doubt that this will help. So, I've been everywhere with the exception of the West End. Alright. River Fanes. I doubt the other characters have new conversations, but we can always try.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft.
I need blood.
I'll leave.
Yeah, without the pillar of the community, things are never really gonna fully stabilize there. But they are at 76%, so that is an improvement versus what was before. What could I do? Well, cure the cold, of course. That's something I can do, and I will do. And once that's done, well, I will probably rest. I do need to recover some HP, and it's probably best if I do rest in Whitechapel. That will help, since if there's anyone that's gonna get sick, it's gonna be in this bloody district. Of course, the instability here is my own bloody fault. Okay, these guys... Fine. That was too much. Okay. Well, just gotta run. Where the hell does this lead? The sewers? I don't think I've been in this part of town. Hold on. Abandoned investment property. There we go, someone there.
This is... I cannot enter.
What happened? Who are you?
It's all right, sir. You're safe now.
Oh, a fellow Englishman. Thank you, sir. For a moment, I thought those bloody heathens had killed me.
What are you doing here? This place is not safe.
Yeah, it's a cesspool, but it's mine. I came to collect some overdue rent, but those who still live here have gone completely bonkers.
You're very lucky to be alive.
Yeah, filthy immigrants. Fucking savages, every one of them. And now with this bloody fever, they're just animals.
You can find safety of sorts in Whitechapel. If you're quick and cautious, you'll be able to avoid the savages. You had better
safety.
Alright. He needs a treatment of cold. She needs a treatment cold. Why do I keep hearing the noise? Either way. That's where I went. Maybe there is something up here still. Yeah. These two. Alright, so I got the last remaining citizen of this district. Okay, nothing up here. Dead end. Fine. I do need the other parts of the document, the Braille document. The cure for blindness. Cure for blindness. Well, let me know. There is a cure for blindness. Might need it myself. Soon enough. And I'm actually very serious about that. Don't think too hard on it though. Stressed enough as it is. Well, high-level vampires would. I should probably level up my HP and endurance, especially my endurance.
Die, vermin! Die, vermin!
Good evening.
Wang.
How is the sanitary situation evolving in Whitechapel these days?
My only relief is that my Matthew died before seeing the madness that approaches. I'm afraid we won't survive this trial, Dr. Reid.
How do you feel? You should...
Thank you.
Goodbye. Good evening. Shh. Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the after.
How
terrible.
That's quite an accusation.
Stop pretending, Mr. Doctor. All you wanted was to confront Dorothea. You never intended to help Whitechapel's people.
There isn't just one way to help Whitechapel.
Your way seems to attract sorrow and despair.
Goodbye.
Alright, I need a rest. Alright. It's stabilized somewhat. Damn. Alright, that's remained the same. He's got a headache, she's got a headache, he's got a headache. Alright, still, that can be stabilized. At least they're healthy still. The West End is fine, I guess. Alright, stabilize the district at the very least. It would have been sanitized if I hadn't killed Nurse Crane, but that's fine.
Good evening.
It's fun.
How is this?
Don't you hear the trumpets? The apocalypse is upon.
Where can I find this guy? That is the question, isn't it?
The wars of men should not be your main concern. The disease upon us is not an accident.
Good evening. Goodbye.
Where the hell is that poet, though? Where has he gone to? And there we go. He's still there.
Good evening. And good evening. How is the sanitary situation evolving in Whitechapel these days?
I imagine we are all part of some nightmare without beginning nor ending. If only the dreamer could awake.
Well, situation is stabilizing. It will never completely fully stabilize, not without Dorothy Crane, but obviously I am doing my best. Doing triage, obviously. That's all I'm doing. That's all I can do. Why is the church a quarantine area? That's a good question. I really need to find that guy. Wherever he is. Wait, what's that? Door.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again. Its effectiveness has been...
This district seems to get uglier.
Good evening.
You're here.
I'm not here for a bounty. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reid from the Pembroke.
A doctor? In Whitechapel? What an opportunity. My name's Bates. Cadogan Bates.
Do you require assistance, Mr. Bates?
Not me, but your skills could help a lot of people round here. That would help my business, because I say a live tenant's a paying tenant.
I want to know everything about the recent violence, Cadogan. And I want the truth.
Well, rent may be a bit high, and yeah, I've had to evict a few people. But that's business, isn't it?
Take this as my final warning. You will not profit from the misery of others. Business is one thing, but what you do is quite another.
Really? What you gonna do? You ain't from here. You ain't Whitechapel, Doctor. You wouldn't know the first thing about playing dirty, even if you wanted to.
You seem to have recovered well since your attack. Do you ever think about what happened to you?
Not much. It was a fucking nightmare. Savages, absolute bloody savages. Their appearance. Jesus. It made me want to puke.
You'd better not come back here. I won't be around next time to save you. It's unusual to see someone so happy around here, especially considering the current situation.
Why should I be sad now? There've always been wars, disease, tragedy. There always will be.
That's an unusual way of seeing things in these trying times.
I don't see why I should shed a tear for another man's woes. I'm healthy, and I intend to stay so.
What is your business, exactly?
I offer fair lodgings for a modest price to the poor and weary of Whitechapel.
I see. And what about those who cannot pay?
Well, deals can be done, if you know what I mean. Money's not the only currency. After all, I'm not immune to a pretty face.
In other words, you take advantage of these poor lost souls.
Begging your pardon, I thought you was a man who could appreciate the complexity of the modern world. Things ain't just black and white, you know.
What help could I possibly be to your business?
That's simple. I already get good money from all those fleeing the war. Can you imagine what they'd be willing to pay if I could offer medical assistance too?
Mr. Bates, do not make me regret saving your life in this quarantine zone.
I understand, Dr. Reid, you're from a good family. Don't want to get your hands dirty. That's fine. I'll be happy to act as your middleman.
I've no interest in money. Perhaps one night I will visit you and take what I require. If that should happen, there will be no need for a middleman.
So it's a no then. That's too bad. The Reid tonic could have really helped people, you know, save lives. Isn't that what you do? I mean, people buy that Swambra shit.
Tell me, what's your honest opinion of the increasing violence in London.
People are just beginning to discover what we've always known. This city's rotten to the core. They just took their bloody time to wake up and notice it.
What do you mean?
People are acting like the violence is news. But it's always been savage down here. It just bubbles to the surface every now and again.
Since I took an oath to help people, can I be of assistance?
Well, seen better days, that's for sure. But it was bound to happen with all these refugees about.
I will... Good.
I don't have a... Oh, fine. I'll go make one then.
Cordial can be the answer to all your problems.
Just be lucky I don't mesmerize you, bitch. I mean, I suppose I shouldn't kill her, because the placebo effect is still useful. And in the absence of an actual doctor or nurse to take care of, Alright. So, the thing is, though, and something that is worth pointing out over here is, the game is easier if you level up a lot, but it's also easier if you don't get the district in critical status. So just a point to make. Bronchitis, anemia, sepsis, pneumonia. Alright, so what do these guys have? He's got a cold. Oh, sure, he has a cold. Headache, headache, and headache. Just another headache. Not sure how a headache affects the blood quality of someone, but... I mean, I get it. A cold, that makes sense, right? A headache, not so much. Not really, to be honest. I mean, it depends, I guess, on how you have a headache, but really shouldn't affect someone's blood quality. I may know a thing or two about medicine.
Mr. Bates.
Evening.
Since I... Well... Infecting you is probably the last thing on these people's minds. Take this, in any case.
What? You give me this for free? Don't have a clue about this place, do you?
Goodbye.
No, I do have a clue. It's just... I turn a blind eye. I could kill him. I should kill him, really. Should I? Should I not? That is the question, isn't it?
Its effectiveness has been proven by many. Even the
Either way, I think... I think that will be it for now. Costin signing out.